How's it going, everyone? This is Brian Colon again. Going to be demoing this new game we're working on called Transcend. The game's gone through a couple revisions, and Transcend is its new name. It used to be called Lock and Key. The reason why we're calling it Transcend is basically because the player is able to transcend time and space and death and life, and that'll be demonstrated in just a minute here. So basically, the player starts off here in between these two walls, and one thing you'll notice, hopefully right away, is that the different colors of the walls. Um, right, and the reason why that is because we need to differentiate between two different kinds of walls, and the reason why is because when I hit these spikes, you'll notice that I just died, my body fell down, and I am now a ghost. Still, however, I am colliding with the brown surfaces here, but this black surface here, I can walk right through it. And basically the idea here is that we want to have, this platform that I'm standing on and this wall right here is basically, you're going to collide with that regardless of what state you're in. You can see I just picked up a bone right there, and the story, basically, we're still working on the story a bit, but the idea behind the bones is that there was an ancient wizard who had the ability to resurrect people from the dead, and that was one of his bones that still is infused with his magic. And so what I can do is I can use that bone and bring myself back to life like that. And so coming back to life, I can now walk through this ghostly wall right here, but you can see, yeah, there we go. So I'm colliding with solid objects, and I'm not colliding um, with the ghostly objects. So here I have a bone. I just picked that up again, so it's in my inventory. And what we're going to do is walk along here, and we can see here there's a key that I need to get, but I can't jump high enough to get it. But it's above this hill that appears to be in the ghostly realm. So what I'll do is I'll just hit these spikes here. I'll die, be able to collide with that ghostly realm hill, climb up here, grab the key, and move on. But can't go any further because these platforms here are in the living world, so I'll have to just use the bone, resurrect myself like that, and we continue on. So there's some spikes up there above me, so I'll just jump up there, hit that, jump on here, and nothing is pretty self-explanatory. You might notice, obviously, the leaves that are falling from the sky. The leaves are, they are color-coded. You know, when I'm dead, we're going to have brown or dead leaves falling from the trees. And you'll notice they are colliding with the dead ground, the ground that that you collide with when you're dead. And then when you are alive, it'll be colliding with the ground that you collide with when you're alive, and also the leaves will also be green, like this, as you can see. I'm holding a key, and that key is going to unlock this door. Right off the bat, you can see the door has a red sign on it, and I'm holding a red key. It's not necessary that you combine the colors together. Like you have to find a red key for a red door. As we'll see later, even the combination of colors will allow you to go to different places in the game. So as I use the key here, I'll unlock the door, I'll hit the B button, and we'll go here. And as you can see, we move across the red line, and I'm now in this level here, and you can see that this level uh, has the blue line, the yellow line, and the green line going out of it to go to these different levels. So let's move on here. So as you can see here, there are 2 doors and 2 keys. There's blue and yellow. So what I can do, and there is no green. That's the other thing I wanted to make sure we point out. You grab this blue key, and then when you go up here to use it here, we can just go in here and we go along the blue line. And then we meet a guy here who tells us that we're going the wrong way. You're supposed to go through the green door. Okay. But the problem is here we didn't see a green door. There is no green door here. So what do we do about that? Well, what you do about that is you grab a blue key and you bring it up here to the yellow door, and the yellow door becomes green. So the idea here is that you combine two primary colors, and it'll create a secondary color, and you go in there, and then you can see we move along the green line. So we're in this new level here, and this level here, you can see right away there is a red key down there that we need to get to, but there's a wall in the way. As I walk over here, I notice that I step on a pressure plate that that causes that door to go up, but it falls down too quick in order for me to. So I'm not really able to get to it fast enough to get the key. So that immediately should tell you that you need to put something else on the pressure plate to hold it there while you can go get the key. But as you can see in the level, there's nothing else here. So there's nothing else to do here at all. This door with the red sign on it is locked. Can't go in there. You can't get through here. You can't reach up there, and you can't reach up here. So the only thing really to do is to go in the blue door. So let's go in the blue door. As you can see, we move along the blue line on the world map here. And we come here and we meet this guy again, and he says, good. Now try that again, but this time go through the red door. Well, again, remember, we have the red door and the red key, but the problem is that we couldn't get to the red key. So now what happened is we just went back to the same level again, but this time what happened is we went back in time. Now you can see that obviously there's two of us here. And what's happening is, by going back in time, we're able to see our previous self here, and our previous self is going through the level the way that I did before this. And since he's able to step on the pressure plate, he's able to let me go through, go past the pressure plate, grab the key, and come through like this. So, and just as a technical note, the way this is working, this clone, as I put it, this other character who's my previous self. What's happening is I am when you're playing the level the first time, I'm actually recording the controller inputs, and I'm playing them back on this other clone. So if you, for example, if you were to play the level the first time and run up against the wall and just keep running like this, you're still holding the stick to the right. And then we come back again and we play the level again, and this barrier is removed, he's going to keep running to the right because he's responding to his control input. So that's a way that you can use that to your advantage as you solve these puzzles. So anyways, red key, we put on the red door and we can advance, and as you see here, it goes around there to this new level that has a blue and an orange and a green door. And so how's this going to work? Well, we come here and we see there are two doors, blue and orange. And and we see this lever that I'm at right now. When I hit the B button, it's going to bring up that barrier. But the other one is still there and is still down, so I'm not able to get through here. And you can see that there's a lever down below us, but I'm not able to get down there. As you can see, the ground that it is standing on is transparent or ghostly, so if I was to jump on that, I'd fall right through. So that's not going to work. So right now the only thing you can do is go through the blue door. There we go. We go right there, and then we see this guy again, and he says, good, now try that again, but go through the orange door. Okay, well, how are we going to do that? Well, quite frankly, we go back in time, and here we are again. But you might notice what I just did right there. I had to do it kind of quick because otherwise it wouldn't work. We went back in time and we saw our previous self here, and he was moving along and he was going to hit this switch. But what I did was I pulled out a sword. As you can see when I'm swinging it right now, I pulled out a sword and I struck him and killed him, and that made him a ghost. And since he was a ghost, he fell through this solid ground here that I'm standing on and fell down to the bottom. And when he hit the switch, which was like hitting the B button here, he actually hit it on the bottom switch down there, which means that I can hit this one here. Both of them are now up in the air, which means I can go on to the orange door. So let's move on here. Now, before we move on, I want to explain everything that we just saw. That was all like tutorial stuff in the game. Those were not really meant to be much of a challenge. That was just a way to introduce certain mechanics to the player. This next level does introduce 2 new mechanics to the player, but it's also meant to be a little bit more of a challenge. The new mechanics is you have a cannon, as you can see, that fires cannonballs, and then we have some enemies here. The cannon, as you can see, is shooting alternate black and white balls. That's going to become important in just a moment here. You can see when I jump on the enemies, it makes a doink sound, and then makes you jump higher. So if I'm going to double jump on this guy like this to bring me up here. And now what'll happen is, you see the black ball will kill me. The white ball will bring me back to life. So I'm using that black ball to get through that wall right there, and then I hit the X button. That brings me back to life, and we can continue on. Now as I look up here, see here we have another cannon, and I hit the switch right here, and it's going to raise that barrier to allow the cannonballs to come through. There's another barrier there, and that's controlled by this pressure plate. So what I do is I'm going to step on the pressure plate, but I'm going to get off the pressure plate when a white ball comes through, because I don't want these enemies to come back to life. So I'm only going to allow the black balls to go through, like this, here, and back. And I'm just going to do this until all those guys are dead. And the reason why is because obviously I need to get through that door that they're guarding right there. I can't do that if these enemies are there, because if I die, I fall through the ground and I won't be able to continue the level or finish the level. Okay, good. So there we go. We finished that. Now let's move on. I still need a key to get through here. I can see there's a lot of lag. I'm going to have to see what I can do to fix that. I don't know what's causing it exactly, but for this little challenge right here, there are 3 enemies down there. I got to grab that key, and in order to jump back out, I have to jump on all 3 enemies. Otherwise I won't jump high enough. So let's try it. Boing. Oh, no good. Okay. So let's try this again. Let's get through here. Okay. What I'm doing down here is I'm killing these guys so that when they respawn, they're close enough together that I can get a good double jump on them. Like this, these 2 guys are close enough right here. So I'm going to jump on him like there, right there. Oh, no, no good. Let's try it again. There we go. Bounce, bounce up here. There's my cannonball. It's going to come through here. Come back to life. Come up here. Turn this on. We're going to get those black cannonballs through. The one thing interesting that I've noticed is the game lags here because there's a lot of stuff going on the screen. The enemies, the cannonballs, and I have a bunch of leaves falling from the sky. But the game does not lag at all when I run this on my NVIDIA Shield. And I think that's just a testament to how amazing the NVIDIA Shield is and able to handle this much activity and these graphics on the screen. Okay, here let's try this again here. Got to get 3 jumps. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, because I'm the developer, I don't want to have to go through this again. I can just... There we go. I know that was cheating, but I still have some of my developer code running on the game, so I just put myself up here. Okay, the way to solve that is you got to bounce on all 3 of those guys consecutively in order to get a high enough bounce to jump out, but I don't have time to keep doing it over and over again. So we go in here, and now we're at the next level. So these new enemies here, as you can see, they have spikes on them, and so basically it's really simple. Just don't touch them because they will kill you. Or if you need to die, if you need to become a ghost, you can touch them. They themselves, the only way to kill them is by hitting them with a cannonball. Okay, like we did in the last level. So I'm going to use that oh, that didn't work. Let's try that again. Actually, see what happened right there was I just I just died while my body was overlapping a dead ground. And when that happens, I made it so the game won't allow you to occupy a space that you would be otherwise colliding with. So it switches you back to being alive again. Okay, here we go. Like this. Now let's go. That's good, good. Okay. So now I have the key. And I need to get up there, and the only platform, as you can see, is right in front of me. I'm going to try to jump on it here like this, but obviously I don't collide with it because it's a ghost platform. So what I'm going to do here is you hit the B button when you're next to the cannon, and you can just adjust it to come up like that, and then release B. No, let's try that again a little bit more, like right about there. That's too much. Like is that good? Yeah, there we go. We'll do that. Okay, so now the cannon's shooting upwards. That's something that that's part of the puzzle of the game. The player needs to find out that the cannon needs to be shooting upwards in order to proceed. And here we go. I'm gonna jump across. I hit that cannonball and it killed me. Now we're gonna go again here on the white one. It brings me back to life. Now I'm up on top here, and we go through the door. Now you might notice I'm going through the map kind of quickly because it's sort of irrelevant right now. These levels that I'm demonstrating right now are not reflected on the world map, just because I haven't done that yet. So the world map is no longer relevant for these levels. Basically we're on World 2 right now, and I haven't made the World 2 map yet. So, anyways, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to jump, and as I jump, I hit the cannonball, which killed me and allowed me to collide with this platform. I'm going to come up here now, grab this key, come back to life, and now I collide with this platform as I'm walking here. Now these two enemies that are following me, I'm going to use them to get up to this higher platform up here. So I'm going to bounce on their heads like this, bounce. Oh my goodness, I'm bad at my own game. My goodness, it's so annoying. Okay, well, we'll try this again. And I'm just following him here. He has to walk all the way back, all the way there, and turn around back here. Oh, and by the way, as you can see up on top there, cannonballs are going by really quickly, and there was a door on the far right. That's where I need to get to. That's our next challenge. So here we go. Here and bounce, and there we go. Okay. So yes, on the way on the far right, although you can't see it in the view at the moment, there is the door that we need to get to, and these cannons are firing their cannonballs very quickly. So, and the cannonballs are going by so fast that if I was to try to run through them, I would be hit. There's no way to make it across because I can't outrun the cannonballs. Also, what you might notice if you look closely at the cannons themselves, you see there's like there's a chain and a padlock wrapped around the barrel of the cannon. That's just to indicate that you cannot change the angle of the cannon. These are locked in place. But you can, and you might remember before when we were changing the angle of the cannon in the last level, the cannonballs weren't firing while we were changing the angle. And that's still going to be true here. So when I hit the B button, you can see the one on the bottom is not firing anymore. But what is also the case is that when you're in this state, you cannot move. You see I'm changing direction because I'm moving my joystick back and forth, but you cannot you can't move in this state. So the way to solve this particular challenge is we need to stagger the cannonballs like so. I don't know, let's see if I can do it better. Nope. I want no. Let's see if that'll be good enough. And so by staggering them like that, I could jump over the cannonballs and make it across. It'd still be, kind of a challenge though. So here we go. And there we go. We go in the door and we continue on. Now this is the last level, and this is pretty complicated one, and I've been working on this one for a couple days. You can see right away you have this door right here that you could go into, and that will end the level. And this other door up here is you can't reach it. That is where you eventually want to go, but you can't get there right now. So what we're going to do is we'll come over here. You'll see this pressure plate edge standing right there raises that barrier, and that cannon is shooting cannonballs up at a 45-degree angle, and by stepping on that pressure plate, it brings up the barrier, and the cannonballs can go further, but there's still another barrier there. And as I go over here, you might notice that I step on this one, and this one goes up, but the other one is down. So if both barriers are up, then they'll be able to come through, and then it'll hit that little Goomba who's going back and forth there. That Goomba going back and forth is also hitting that pressure plate that's bringing that barrier up and down and allowing me to get the key. Now, the key, I don't need the key right now because I'm actually going to be exiting that other door. And the reason why is because there's no way for me to reach the red door right now. So we'll just move on here. We'll come down here and we'll exit the level. And then back in time once again. This time, so just like before, and you're going to see my previous self. He's running around because he's doing all the things that I was doing the last time. Just a couple minutes ago, I was doing the same thing. So I'm going to come up here, and I am the guy on the far left. Okay, the one who's not jumping around. That's the one I'm controlling, and I'm standing on that platform, that pressure plate, and raise to keep that barrier raised up. Now what will happen in just a moment here is my previous self is going to go up there to that other pressure plate and stand on it. I'm waiting for him to do that. He's going to do it in just a moment. And when he does, both of these barriers here are going to be lifted, and there we go. And there you go. You see, you just killed that Goomba, which means that he died. He fell through the floor, and he became alive again by those white cannonballs that are in the far right, upper right, and now he's down here, which means that I could use him to bounce on his head to get up to that. Oh, but you know what I forgot to do is I forgot to get the key. So I need to go do that really quick. Let's go get the key. Oh my goodness, I can't get the key. I actually messed up this level. Okay, cool. Well, we'll try again. This is one of those, it's a difficult level, and even the developer can not do it properly sometimes. So, anyways, here we go. Let's come up here. Let's get the key first before we do anything else. And there it is, and we got it. Okay, good. So we'll come down here, and now I need to wait for my previous self to get up there and stand on that platform. There he goes. There he goes. Go on, bud. Looks funny like that. With our hair, looks like we have horns. Okay, come on. So he's standing there because when I was playing the level, I stood there for a moment and I was talking. So, okay, come on, get up there. Stand on the platform. There you go. Okay, good. And down goes the Goomba, and here he is. So let's head over here. The way I'd like to do it, I like to have the Goomba behind me. It's a little easier to jump on him when I'm just simply waiting right here for him, rather than having to jump over him like that. Either way works though. Let's go here, and there we go. And that's the end. That's what we have so far. I'm not going to go in this door here because the next level hasn't been programmed yet, and it'll error out. Anyways, if you like the game, leave a comment. Let me know what you think, and stay tuned. We'll have some more updates coming soon. Thanks a lot for watching.